You know, we started the IBC 10 years ago, and as you can probably remember, it started right after 9/11. And as the back of the program shows, Monica wrote a nice little piece talking about how trying those times were. And we kind of thought getting the International Business Club together at that time would be a way of bringing us all together, you know, international students and business students to talk about international issues. And so that's why we kind of formed the club. And we were just starting our international program at that time, really. So that's kind of how we got started. I have several of my members here that I can see, my original members. I think there might be a few showing up later because some of them said to me in emails that I got, well, not emails, mostly I did it through social networking, well, I work until 5 and I'm going to have to come later. But the ones I like the best, and I have to share this with you, I got several messages from students saying, gosh, I'm sorry I can't come. I'm working in Indonesia, I'm working in Brazil, I'm working in China, and I thought, now that's really nice. I like that because we're all IB majors, right? And I'm working somewhere else around the world. So that was kind of a nice thing to hear. I've had a lot of enjoyment working with this club. And I anticipate having a lot more enjoyment working with you for the rest of this time.
Before I introduce our first or second of our speakers, we have some dignitaries in the room that I would like to acknowledge. The first in the back of the room is Dean Keith Womer, Dean of the College of Business, and he's been he and his administration have really been a very strong supporter of the needs of the IB program. So we certainly appreciate your attendance and your support of the program. And against the wall in the back is former curator Mary Gillespie. Nice to meet you. Curator Gillespie was on the board of curators for many years. She's an UMSL alumna herself and a strong advocate of this program and was instrumental in the creation of this program. So it's great to have you here, Curator Gillespie. Our first speaker is Jason Bockman. Jason was the vice president and then president of the IBC in 2006 and 2007, and has come back to share some of his views. Betty shared some interesting tidbits about Jason with me. It was very entrepreneurial, as many of our IB students are, because as an IB student, you have to kind of think outside the box, primarily where are you going to get the money to go abroad. And so Jason showed incredible initiative in starting his own hot dog stand while he was in school, and then sold the hot dog stand to fund the rest of his education. And Jason is currently the owner of a mattress manufacturing firm that services dormitories throughout the United States. So another example of the great success our graduates have had. So Jason, if you want to come on up and share some words.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And I want to say thank you to you as well. I don't know if anybody else has this experience, but it was, school was not easy for me. And it always seemed like when I came to your office to see you, it just made it a little easier. And I appreciate your guidance. And there's a ton of really funny stories about IBC and coming to UMSL and how all that went. And if I have a minute, I'd like to tell a couple of them. But school was, my family was going to pay. I had already went to school and I graduated from a different program. And I didn't want to go to school again, but I was a drug abuse counselor, and I was like, I don't want to go back to school. And then a piece of paper floated off of this stack that was like, study internationally, and I was like, I would do that. And so I really feared math, and So I was like, I'll go through the calculus and all the stuff that I have to do to be able to travel internationally if that's one of the payoffs. And I came here. I don't know, UMSL, I don't have any family members or anything that went here. I was accepted and went to as part of NYU, and I didn't want to be away anymore from school, and the program here at the time was as good, if not better, than any program in the country. And I still talk to some people that graduate from this program, from this school, and I'm as impressed with them as from anybody else that I meet. So it's a good legacy to be part of. Some of the funny stuff, I wanted to be a part of a program outside of just my classes, just because I find that the people that really are doing things and making things happen always want to do more. And so I wanted to be around those people, and I joined, and Butch and his girlfriend, and there was a lot of people that already had things going on that I wanted to be a part of outside of school and in school, just the way they led their lives and the way they approach business. And so I came to the initial meeting, and there was pizza there, and that was a good draw. And and then I mean, there was just the mix of people that were there. It was just exciting to be around. And there was elections that day, and I raised my hand. I guess I just was taught, you know, if there's a position to be filled and you have the time, then you raise your hand and step up. So I got denied this position, is what happened. This guy stood up, and he was from Brazil, and he was like, I was a member of the Chamber of Commerce. I tons of stuff. And I was like, I knew that I had no chance of getting elected that day. But I hung around and I helped out, and then eventually I did something before I was vice president, but then I was vice president and president. And in those few years, we started doing more and more trips and getting more and more funding so we could do more extravagant things. And I went to LA. There's a picture of me with hair. This guy. I lost my hair. Don't graduate, you lose your hair. But so I went to LA. I went to New York a few times, Washington, D.C., Chicago several times with the club. I ended up studying in China, and I went back to China, and it was only because of this program that I was able to do those things and gain some experience and some insight into other cultures that would help me along my way. And what happened was, so I was here, and I was proud to be here, and it helped me extend myself outside of this program. And one day when I came back from China, and I was talking about some of my experiences, and there was this guy, and I had met manufacturers of furniture while I was there. And I don't know, just it was just happenstance, and there was a position that needed to be filled, so I stepped up, and it turned into a great business. And there's like every day I'll be like maybe in a different city. I don't know how many places or countries that I've traveled to this year, but I'll meet somebody and I don't know how to approach them, and I'll think back about some of our experiences here, and just with different cultures. I met with a guy from Haiti the other day, and I was like, you know, before I even, is anybody from Haiti in here? No? I was like, before I go into this, I know some of the tactics that he's going to do to negotiate with me, only because I was in this club, period. And there were some Haitian members, and we had to study other cultures, and we ended up landing this big contract. It's great. There's things like that happen all over the place, but I want to tell some of the funny stories that are just like so close to me that I love and I think about often, and I laugh. So I'm sure I've talked way too long, but I want to wrap it up. We're in Chicago. We have like a 17-passenger van, and we had already went to the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and I don't know, a few other places that day. And we want to go to bowling. We went to a bar, and then we were going to go to this hot dog stand called the Wiener Circle. And so there's I think 15 or 16 people in the van, and there's probably like as many different languages spoken. And we're driving, and there's this guy in the road, and we had to ask him how to get to the Wiener Circle. And he's like, well, let me just get in the van, and I'll show you how to get there. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm like, hop in, buddy, you know, and he thought we were at church or something, like, no.